of appropriate resolution. If you want to add that to your motion.
Okay.
Okay, there is a motion before us with a slight modification. Do I hear a second?
I will second the modified motion with the modification of the modification.
Which is?
Well, that's why I'm saying it exactly the way I am, because I'm
Okay.
not sure how far we've moved
Have to
on
work
this.
with
But
council and we'll incorporate.
would the clerk read the motion that I am willing to,
Modified.
at this
Second.
point, until having heard it?
We believe the sentiment of the board awaiting your vote is that you will accept the proposal as recommended with the adjustments for the planning and building services and solid waste departments as described.
Okay. All right, now that we all understand that, and there is a second to the motion, Supervisor Colfax, discussion to the motion.
I will vote no for two reasons. Number one, I oppose the fees, and number two, the recommended motion is so confusing, I don't think anybody understands it.
Supervisor Delbert.
Thank you. Council, could you restate what you said on the in terms of the solid waste?
Well, the problem is that the fee justification chart indicates that two solid waste fees will go into effect in January 1, 2009, but the standard garbage can fee doesn't have that indicated on the chart. So I just asked the DOT director, and what he indicates is the standard garbage can fee will go up $1 July 1, 08, and $2 January 1st, 09.
That's a 100% increase. It says 25 cents on my copy.
Right.
So if we're going up $3, that's doubling the disposal rate for a garbage can.
I didn't set the fees. You can ask Howard about that.
Well, there he is. He's still here. Director DeShio.
Better yet, Mr. Miller, I believe.
So it's the price per cubic yard.
Yeah.
We were doing fine till
Scott Miller, Solid Waste. It was our intention to, and back in, when we had the earlier fee hearings, our proposal was to raise the rate for a cubic yard $1 in July, this coming month, in July 08. Subsequent to that, we got our budget instructions and realized what our assigned net county costs were going to be. And the CEO's office reopened the fee hearings. We participated a second time and proposed a $2 rate increase to be effective January 09.
Might add to Howard DeShield, Director of Transportation, while it's been indicated that a lot of these increases are over the COLAs, you must remember too the departments have been asked to absorb the additional overhead for insurance. Also, unlike a lot of the other services that are provided, you know, part of these fees pay for the hauling off of the material, which are affected by gas, and we all know how that's been hitting our budgets. I might add too that even on some of our fees in the department that require inspectors to be in the field, you don't just have personnel fees. You got there. We're putting more fuel in our budgets too, so there's other things in there.
And as Supervisor Smith pointed out, unfortunately, the solid waste division will still be about a $600,000 net county cost, even with these fees in our 08-09 budget.
Okay, so the increase is not, it's on a cubic yard, not a garbage can.
Right.
Big difference there.
Right. The garbage can is about $375. It is $375 proposed for January of 09.
Okay, now wait a second. There's two, you have Casper, and then you have the rest of the world.
Oh, are they? Which are they looking at?
That was made
I
the
think-
same though. Those should be the same.
Not
Yeah.
according to what we're
I
about
know.
ready to adopt something that
Yeah.
is completely different than what you guys are selling us.
Did this not get in?
If I may, you may have not gotten the updated, as of yesterday afternoon, Mr. Miller had submitted a new copy to go into the board's packets.
Yeah.
Call the vote, Mr. Chairman. It's easy.
You might have Supervisor Delbar, you might be looking at a proposal that we had that would have Casper at a slightly different rate than the rest of the county. And again, that was an attempt to satisfy our Fort Bragg partners. And we subsequently decided to make that fee increase uniform across the county.
Okay, I have a little problem with that because I don't do business with the city of Fort Bragg and the Potter Valley Transfer Station. So to make the city of Fort Bragg happy by raising the rates on my constituents, I can't do.
Well, you still have a $600,000 net county cost.
I understand that, but
Right.
I also understand that I am not going to subsidize the city of Fort Bragg with my constituency.
Well, city of Fort Bragg is still going to have to pay. I mean, we're not subsidizing the city of Fort Bragg.
The other thing too is with the, we're, and rightfully so, processing COLAs for the haulers. I mean, the expenses as a ripple effect of the fuel costs are just, we can hardly stay ahead of it. So really, the $2 increase countywide is easily justified just in those costs that already exist. There were several problems with that earlier proposal. We actually had the wrong date on there as well. That paper should have been fully updated. So I apologize for that, but we had a misprint on there as well.
Okay. Back to the chair. I have to state that this is one of the most ugly documents that has come before me in 4 years. There's too many conflicting dates, dollars, concerns to the council. Can we even act on such a document?
Well, if you
We
want.
have, as Supervisor Colfax has stated, a modification to a modification to a modification to a modification.
A correction.
And a correction. So,
Well, we can amend the resolution, and I can read the amendments, and then you can act on that. But if you're not clear about what Solid Waste and DOT has represented in their documentation, then I'm not comfortable with you passing the resolution.
What I'm concerned about is the difficulty that this short little fat bald guy is having understanding, let alone asking the public to understand what we're trying to do here. We're supposed to be the experts, and I'm not exactly sure of dates, dollars, et cetera, et cetera. We've had a lot of discussion. This should have been a much more fleshed out document, easy to read for the public, easy to read for dumb supervisors, or a dumb supervisor, I'm sorry, and be able to bring it back in a clear, concise situation. So maybe it's just me being